Greetings and salutations to everybody and anybody that's here. I apologize. This is a last minute thing. I'm just here. And I'm doing a live, so it's an open mic night, but it's going to be a short one. I know I always say that, but it's going to be a short one. I will post the link in the comments on the YouTube side because that's always easier. So let's go there. The live right now, the open mic night. Oh, I got to mute it. Sorry. All right. Let me pin Todd Father. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. And you know what? Honestly, dude, after the last couple months, I don't care. Hey, Carol, how are you? I'll drop the link for anybody that wants to join. Again, open mic night, so go for it. I'll drop. Did I do that right the first time? I'm sorry. I spent half the day at a gun show. My mind's not. And plus, watching the news from Israel, I'm like, I'm kind of a little distraught. But yeah. So anyway, I did go to the gun show today. That was in Gettysburg. They have it 2 times a year. It's not real far from me. It's actually pretty close. It's over the state line. But I went there with a couple great dudes and spent some time and money. Took my stepson, who loves. If anyone doesn't know, he's autistic, but he loves military, like old history, like World War II, World War I, World War II, Vietnam type firearms and uniforms and things like that. So I took him. He had a blast. So that was really cool. That was really cool for him. Yeah. Just chilling. Greetings. Just chilling. I wouldn't. Don't bless all police. Like keep out the like the 1% to 2% that are like pieces of shit, because they give the rest of us, the good ones, a bad name. But it is what it is. You already know what I mean. Yeah, Carol, it's yeah. Oof. I don't know how to get into it. Today between the news and the last 24 hours, and then like trying to go and have a good time, kind of conflicted, you know what I mean? Co-Train, how are you? Co-Train 25, thank you for joining. Hey, just chilling. You can say what you want, man. Like I get it. I can dig it. It's not a big deal. And I think we're on the same page as about a lot of things. So it's not a big deal. But yeah, Carol, what's going on is not it's not good for anybody. It's not good for any country. It's not good for the UN. It's not good for anything. It's not good for. Hey, look, the Jewish community's been through enough already, just like the Armenian community. So now they're being slaughtered again. Seriously, same century, or same fucking. I'm sorry. I'm getting. I think I got. Just getting mad. That's all. Who has a point of topic that they want to bring up? Because, like I said, it's open mic night, and you can come on and say what you want, or stay in chat. It's up to you. That's right, Carol. Last time was 1973 that Israel declared war. That is absolutely correct. Yep. Absolutely correct. And if anybody minds me drinking beer, if my doctor sees this, she'll be furious. But I've cut way back, like embarrassingly way back. Well, embarrassing to me. But yeah, I got way back. So if you see me drinking a beer, deal with it, Doc. It's all in good. It's all in good health and good fun. Yeah, Carol. I remember later days. I was 3 then, but I do remember later times. Just chilling. We can say what we want anymore. 5-6 America. Too damn sensitive now. Yes. People forget what the First Amendment really means to us. I agree. Carmela, if you narc me out, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll probably just drink a beer in front of my doctor. But thanks. Please don't. Please don't narc me out to my doc. That would suck. That would really suck. And the best name, like Carmela Falco. I still find that name hilarious on here. I see it over and over again, but I still find it hysterical. Mustang Mike, greetings. Thank you for joining. And again, I apologize to anybody that's here because I did not announce it, but it's been a long couple months. Been a long. Well, actually, today wasn't too bad. It was long, but not bad. I go to the doc. I get more blood panels tomorrow. Go back to the doc Thursday, but I'm feeling good, and that's what matters. And nothing very special is going on. Carmela, why don't you come on, say hi to everybody? You know what I'm saying? Just chilling. I'm here because you're on probation, checking in with me. You ain't got to check in with me, dude. I'm retired. I don't give a shit what anybody does. You know what I mean? Oh, Carol, I actually I started taking screenshots this morning. I'm like, I should make a video about this. And as the day went on, I went to the gun show. I heard people talking. I came home. I watched the news. I saw more flight radar stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'll just do something real. And it's short. It's very quick. And it's not, I know it's not great, but is what it is. So just thought I'd throw it up there. That's all. Not a big deal. But I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. Honestly, everyone that's here right now, like you're here. You're good people. I mean, I've been chatting with all of you either in comments or on live streams. A couple of you by phone, and all good people. All good people. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on here last minute at night, late at night on a Sunday too. It's after 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jane Perry, greetings. Welcome. Thank you. Carmela, I did not buy any firearms because I do not need any more firearms. I only have one that I'm looking for, one that I used to own that I'm going to try to get back, replace. I did not buy any guns. However, one of my buddies I was with did. So that was pretty cool. Yeah. Don, how are you? Thank you for joining. Jane, I'm feeling good. I still have things to go through, but I am feeling a hell of a lot better than I was over the past couple months. So thank you. Feeling a lot better. Mustang Mike, my wife is doing awesome. She's still in the final stages of recovery from her, what's supposed to be her last breast cancer surgery. And she's doing well. She's had a couple follow-ups since. She has a couple more coming up. And then she's going on an international, what do you call that? Bucket list trip in November. So yeah, but she's doing well. Thanks for asking. And by the way, anybody that wants to know, my wife is subscribed. Mrs. Smith is subscribed to my channel, but she doesn't watch YouTube. And I'm like, what? But you're subscribed. You don't watch YouTube. No, she pays attention to Facebook, as I call it, Faceplant. And I think that's pretty much. She doesn't have any other things, but yeah. But she is on here, but she doesn't. She doesn't care about my or watch my channel or anything. She does watch YouTube videos, but only like cooking and like things like that, or videos I suggest to her, things like that. But she does not pay attention to my channel. Mustang Mike, your friend had a heart transplant 2 days ago. He's in Beth Israel Hospital, Boston. Man, look, I wish your friend the best, but your friend is a very good medical environment right now. So I'm sure things will be, I'm sure, based upon what you said, I'm sure things will be fine. So yeah. So, hey, Mustang Mike, pass on to your friend, everyone in here, pass on to Mustang Mike's friend best wishes, because, man, you only get to live once. And where his friend is at is a very, very good medical environment. So, Carmela Falco, no, she does not follow MobTube. And I guess technically I do, I guess, but I'm not really into the mob part of it. I'm more into the people part of it, which is how I got involved in it, the people part. What do you mean just chilling? You don't have a wrench? I don't understand. How do you, I thought that was a long, no, it says, let me double check. It says, where's chat in the damn thing? There we go. Sorry, I was in the wrong place. I was going to say you should, because I just checked and oh, you know what? You're right. I didn't tab down far enough. There you go, bro. I didn't tab down far enough. I thought you did. You know who else I'm going to give a mod to? Is one of the people on here that makes me smile, no matter which channel, whether it's mine or somebody else. Just makes me smile, makes me laugh. So yeah. 223 DMR, how are you? Dude, the gun show today was pretty lacking. It's they have it twice a year in the same place, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, uh, and I went there in it was January. They have it twice a year, like I said. So January, and then they had it yesterday and today. And man, there were only half the vendors there this time. It was kind of weird, but there was still some good stuff. Still some good stuff. Yeah. Jane, you had a wrench a long time ago? Yeah, I remember that. I'll have to check because I don't know. I used to give out wrenches to a lot of the people I used to talk to, not just forget my channel, but other channels, and that would come on mine and be like, oh, that's a good person, and things like that. I'll check. I have to go into my. It's kind of a pain, but I will do it. If I don't do it during the live, I'll do it after. Mustang Mike, how much did the most expensive weapon go for? Okay. There were two Browning 1919 30 cals. Both were for sale. Both were semi-auto. They weren't class 3. But they were legit Browning 1919s that had been converted. One was for 5+ grand. The other was for, I don't want to quote misnumbers, but it was more than that. So you're talking over 5,000 for one, notably over 5,000, and over that for the other one. But they were both Browning 1919s. Yeah. But those are the two most expensive I saw today. And again, this was a light show. Like there was not anywhere near as many vendors and tables and everything else. Don, no, you ain't getting any of my 10 mil sockets. Don't even joke around with that shit. You know what that means too. If anybody doesn't know what that means, every mechanic, anybody that knows what a 10 millimeter socket is, knows that they are the first socket that you lose or get stolen or misplaced in your tools. Dude, I have extras. I have spares. I have spare 10 millimeter sockets in 2 different states. I'll tell you that. That's a fact. I have spare, whether they're deep sockets or regular sockets, I've got spare 10 millimeter sockets that span 2 states. Just because of that. So that was a good one. No, Jane, I did not buy a firearm. I did not buy a 1919 Browning 30 cal. I don't need any more guns. I'll tell you what I did buy since we're on live. I bought 2 Magpul PMags for my rifle platforms that I own, which I own many of. But I just buy. That's my actual annual habit. I buy 2 magazines, which are ammunition feeding devices, according to the news media. But I bought 2 30 rounders just for fun, less than $30 for 2 of them. So I do that. Mustang Mike, do people ever trade guns with each other? Yes. They do trade guns depending on the state you're in. There's federal laws and there's state laws. So you have to know your well, obviously the federal law, but you got to know your state laws. But there are many people that will bring their own firearms, again, depending on the state. And they did this in Pennsylvania today. A lot of people brought their own firearms to sell, trade, whatever. And they have to follow the federal laws and state laws inherently to sell or trade them. But yes, they do that. And I will tell you this. It's quite, as somebody that's never been to a gun show, if you see people getting out of cars and trucks and stuff in the lot going into whatever big building they're having the gun show in, they're like carrying guns like out in the open. If you've never been to a gun show, just be prepared, because it can be quite, it can catch you off guard. Put it that way. For me, it's not alarming, but it can catch you off guard. Yes, it is quite the hobby, Carmela. However, I spent the overwhelming majority of my adult life, 19 when I was first sworn in, but 18 when I first bought my first firearm, to this day, and I'm in my early 50s. A lot of training around, geez, I don't even know how many dollars, but training, time spent behind the trigger, whether it was required professionally or did it personally. Yeah, it's if you're into collecting firearms, it becomes a hobby. If you're into it professionally, you don't have a choice. And I was kind of in between that stuff. Let me go back. All right, so copy. I honestly don't know. Let me see here real quick. I'll drop the link. Mustang Mike. That depends on your perspective. I'm an iron sights guy. I do not like optics. I've owned plenty of optics. I actually still own some optics, but they came factory with the rifle platform. However, I've never been professionally trained with optics, only iron sights, whether it's a pistol, rifle, God forbid I say this, but even a shotgun, front bead sight. I do not rely on optics. I rely on them maybe as a backup to iron sights, but a good shot with a rifle, I don't know. That can be debated, but all I can tell you is I'll hit the target. I'll hit it in the right places. But a good shot, I don't know. I don't know if you mean MOA or grouping, but Carmelo, what's the best gun for home protection? Well, I can just give you my personal opinion. That depends on how old your home is, what the materials are used to build it, how big your doors are, how big your hallways are, things like that, how many people you have. And then as far as the firearm, what it's equipped with, because you need especially at night, you need some type of illumination, flashlight attached to it, that type of thing. You need training. That's the most important thing. And that's the only way you're going to find out what the right firearm for you is, whether it's home protection, personal protection out on the street. Training. Go to a range, rent some pistols, rent some rifles, rent some shotguns, because you can do that at most firearms ranges, and hopefully they'll have some good people there that'll kind of guide you through it, and you can determine for yourself. I'll tell you this much: a machine gun is not the best gun for home protection. I can tell you that for sure. Don, you rely on bifocals. Dude, I just rely on my training. I wear reading glasses, but training is key for everyone. Maureen Frick, greetings. Thank you for joining. Who asked me? Hold on. Oh, someone was asking. Okay, Just Chilling's a sports fan. Yeah, okay, because I'm not. I played sports growing up, but I'm not a sport. I don't sit there and watch them. Yeah, Carmel. So way back in the day when I was SWAT and I was a kid, I was in my 20s. We had the AR platforms, M4 platforms, and they were in a rifle caliber, and they said, no, 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 can't do that. They're too powerful. So you had to go to a pistol caliber carbine. Today they call them PCCs. So a lot of us switched to that. So you go from a rifle bullet, say like a 5.56 223, all the way down to like a 9 mil. And that's what I did. A lot of us did. And then years and years and years later, they said, no, 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 no. Go back to the rifle caliber, the 223 5.56. You can keep your 9 mils all you want. Carbines, machine guns, submachine guns, things like that. Pistol caliber carbines, but go back to your 5.56. The difference is, or in the thought process was the pistol caliber 9 mils, 45s, 40 cals, things like that would not penetrate all the walls in your house and kill somebody that was not supposed to be shot by accident. But that all changed. Training, technology, all that stuff changed. So, yeah, that's just my experience with it. Just my experience with it in the professional world. But it's whatever. It's whatever. You go check out different firearms and calibers and things and see what and get training with it. Once you figure out what you like, get training with it and then go from there. Todd Father, why don't you come up, man? Because I hardly get to talk to you because you're up ass early in the morning and I'm not. And I know things are going to change for you soon, but man, you're here, so let me go. I think I dropped the link already. Did I drop the link already? I go, Christopher. Yeah, I dropped the link. I'll do it again. Sorry. StreamYard. All right. Copy. This is Maureen. You like 25 ACP. Okay. A lot of people, and there'll be a lot of gun people that would hate you for saying that. I do not. Just chilling. I did drop the link. Anybody that wants to join is welcome to. A lot of people think that even a 22 is not a self-defense round. I will tell you this. It is, because any gun that fires any bullet is self-defense round, and they work. I've watched deer drop being shot with a 22 cal. I've watched humans drop being shot with a 32 cal. A bullet is a bullet. So, and bullets kill. Now remember, I'm not talking about the training part and all that stuff. I'm just saying bullets are deadly, no matter what caliber. Hell, if you do it right, you can kill somebody with a BB gun. Just depends on where you shoot them. That's a fact. That's a fact. Oh, I see. We got some sports stuff going on in the comments. All right, well, y'all go on with your sports stuff, and oh, you're working. That's right. Jesus, sorry, Todd Father, I forgot. For some reason, I thought you were already not. And my bad. My bad. But we'll come November. Because we'll both be on different hours, I'm sure. Yeah, it is what it is. So 5-shot shotgun shells. Wait, 5-shot. Don, you mean the 5-round shotguns, or do you mean shotgun shells that only hold 5 lead balls in them? I need to clarify that before I can respond. But I think I get what you're saying. My favorite, Don, I have 2 favorite shotgun rounds, 12 gauge. And that's double-aught buck, which is basically 9.32 caliber round lead balls and 1-ounce slugs. That's the second one, 1-ounce slugs. Those are my 2 favorite. Mustang Mike, what weapon do police carry today? Man, there's not just one. There's not just 2. If you're talking about the United States, it varies. So during my professional career, as far as handguns, revolvers, and pistols, it was Smith & Wesson and Glock. A lot of other agencies carried both of those, but also Sig Sauer, Smith & Wesson, a ton of them. Shotguns, Mossberg and Remington are the 2 big ones. Benelli came into the scene with their semi-auto shotguns, which are magnificent. And then you're talking about rifle platforms, and we're talking about like Colt and Rock River. Like there's tons. So Remington 700s, there's tons. It just depends on where you are, what they issue, or what you're allowed to use if you own it yourself. So it just depends. It depends on the state and the agency. So for mine, with the agencies I worked with, you could only carry issued weapons, but you could choose, for the most part, which ones they were. Well, not the first agency I worked for, but after that, you could choose what you were issued, but it had to be departmentally owned and issued, and you have to qualify with it. But for off-duty use, they had a list, like a limited list of what you could personally buy and qualify with, train with, qualify with, and carry off-duty. So there's those differences too. Don, 5 balls need to be more accurate, less spread. That's true, and that's why American law enforcement mostly use double-aught buck and 12 gauge for the shotguns. That's true. Mustang Mike, yes. My very first issued firearm, I was 20. I was first sworn in when I was 19. They handed me a revolver. It was a Smith & Wesson model 65-3, which I still own to this day because they sold them to us when we switched to pistols, semi-auto pistols. It was a 357 Magnum, but also shot 38. So it was a dual caliber firearm. Carmela, thank you for joining. You have a good night. I think I did, Mustang Mike. Yeah, I know. I think I did a video. Pretty sure I did on my first issued revolver. It's a Smith & Wesson Model 65-3 357 Magnum. When we qualified, we used both 38s and 357 rounds, but you could shoot both. On duty, we carried 357 rounds. Yeah, pretty good. Good stuff. That was a long time ago. You're not going to find many cops out there in the United States to this day that carry revolvers. You're going to find some out in like the West, Midwest, no, West and Southwest maybe, but I doubt many other places. Oh, some more sports stuff. I can't. You guys talking about sports stuff? I can't even talk about. I can't even relate because I don't. My stepson can. When it comes to football, my stepson can give you facts, figures, scores, things like that, dating back in time because he's autistic. It's true. Carol Quill, greetings. Thank you for joining. Yeah, I just can't relate. Like I played baseball, basketball, and soccer growing up. I never got into the football thing, and so I apologize if that offends anybody. Number one, I don't care, but number two, I apologize for not caring. And then number three, I don't care. I don't care. I just don't watch sports. I just don't do it. My wife, though, my stepson, shit. If you get away, if you can get away from getting in between the TV and the Eagles, Philly Eagles, you can get away with getting in between them and that. Good luck to you. Arlene, greetings. No, Mustang Mike, you guys can talk sports all you want. It's open mic. If you want to talk about it live together on here, that's fine. I don't care. I just don't. I'm not going to pay it because I won't even know it. You guys will be speaking a foreign language to me. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. You guys can talk about it all you want. Talk about it in chat. You can talk about it live on the mic. I don't care. It's up to you guys because a lot of other people will find it interesting too. So I don't care. I'm here for you all. That's what it comes down to. So I really am. But if anyone has any topic they want to bring up, let me know. Hey Nitro, how are you? Good to see you. Maureen, she's doing great. A couple more follow-ups coming up, but she's still, well, actually, she's about over with recovering from her last breast cancer surgery. So that's a good thing. And she's going on an international trip next month. So I'm not, but she is. So that's good. Yeah. Nitro, you change your name. Okay. Good weekend. Good weekend. I feel good. Went to a gun show today, Nitro, stuff like that. Everything's golden. So, yeah. Does anybody have a top? Oh, Jane. No, I actually, I think I mentioned like they don't really like that stuff. Um, there's a lot of people that take digital pictures with their cell phones and stuff in gun shows so they can take a picture of a certain firearm or a barcode or whatever so they can look stuff up later or right then and there. But a lot of these places, like they frown upon you taking video in the gun show venue uh, for whatever reason. Um, and today I only bought, which I do every year, sometimes twice, but at least once. I bought some magazines, the ammunition feeding devices for some of my firearms. But I didn't even bring my cell phone in, and I did not take video or photos. A couple of my friends did that were with me, They took photos, not videos, because they were looking at certain products that they were interested in buying, not necessarily at the moment, but in the very near future. So they talked to the vendors, they took photos. Actually, the vendors encouraged them to take photos of the products, the firearms, what have you, so they could look them up later and buy them. So, but no, I didn't take any videos, and I certainly didn't do a live. And the one that I went to was in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. If anyone's curious, not a big deal, but that's where I went. Yeah, Nitro. Some do not allow videos nor photos. This one allowed photos. I didn't see anything that said no videos. I just know the atmosphere. I know the general thing. They don't like that, you know. So it's basically comes down to it's a security thing because these events are usually pretty big, and they have to hire local or state law enforcement or private security to come protect what they have, both when the show's open and after it's closed for till it opens again for the night. So they just don't like, because that's intelligence for the criminal world. Just to it gives them some intel. Oh, you want to see, Jane? You want to see the cool guns I'm talking about? Well, it depends. I saw a lot of cool guns, and my stepson, who loves primarily like World War II, Vietnam era military guns, he had a field day today. So I can tell you about them, but I don't have pictures of them. Carol, I don't know where Trock is. He called me. Was it last night or the night before? Because I go to bed early now, generally speaking. Not tonight, obviously. My blood pressure meds, just my new blood pressure meds, tend to, both of them tend to knock me out early, but I'm awake tonight. He called me late last night or the night before. Yeah, that happens something. He knows what's up. But no, I don't know. I don't know if he has to go to Boston tomorrow or not. The vendors with the homemade goodies. This is Nitro. The vendors with the homemade goodies are awesome. Gun shows, so it's not all about guns either. That is true. There are so many different vendors at gun shows. People would be really surprised. Not everybody that's a vendor there will have guns. There was a giant. Okay, here's a prime example. There was a giant, not a booth. It's like tables, like literally like 6 tables, big tables. And this person was selling socks, pairs of socks. It's true. It's true. You have a t-shirt stand over here. You got somebody selling socks over here. You got all and in between, you got guns, you got magazines, you got people just selling ammunition, you got people. It's just knives, gun accessories like slings and things like that, gun parts. You can build your own damn gun, things like that, which is what I generally do, but build and repair. But yeah. Yep. Yeah. Nitro, I headed to bed. Myself have to be up early in the morning for work. Well, Nitro, thank you for stopping by. Always welcome. But again, thank you for stopping by. Also, oh, they're closed now. Today was our last day. I was going to say, if you need socks, go to the Gettysburg Gun Show, but they closed at 5. They're done till probably January, maybe February. Then they'll be back. Oh yes, the homemade food. Yeah, there's some food vendors there too. Not a lot at this venue anyway, but yeah, there's a couple. So aside from guns, which obviously I have a problem with because I have too many. Um, I guess I shouldn't say aside from guns. If anyone has any gun questions, let me know. Ask me. I'm always open to that. Um, Sports, you guys talk about that amongst yourselves. Um, who somebody said earlier about me being in the mob tube genre, which is how I met a lot of you great people. But I was only there for one. I only got involved because of one reason. There's a couple people that know why. Um, but sometimes I watch it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just hang out and chat and be the class clown. Sometimes, well, I used to go live on there, or try to go live on there a lot on different streams. Um, but it's really not my. That's not my forte. I don't have a lot of knowledge in it, so. mm, And quite honestly, it doesn't affect my my life. And like I said, there's some really great people, and a lot of you here are them. But I don't feel the need to revolve around it as far as YouTube goes. So that's it. That's all I have to say about that. Carol, you want to come on? It's up to you. I know you're like, just chilling for, oh, geez. So I'm sure you're familiar. The 40 Smith and Wesson round is actually a 10 millimeter short, and I carried the Glock 22 for, good God, the first pistol after I carried the Smith and Wesson 357 revolver. We switched to the Glock 22, which is 40 Smith and Wesson 10 millimeter short. So I carried that for, geez, up until 3 years before I retired in 2019. Then we switched to the Glock 17 9 millimeter. I carried 9 mil off duty and 40 off duty, but I spent the majority of my time carrying the on the job professionally the 40 Smith and Wesson, the 10 millimeter short, and 9 mil off duty, and then 9 mil on duty for the last few years of my career. So, yeah. And the only reason why they changed, it was a Glock platform, and 40 Smith and Wesson is a very, very high pressured round, 10 millimeter. Sure, you're putting a 10 millimeter bullet, the grain, into a shorter casing, and it caused a lot of physical damage over time to the Glock platform, and I'm sure it does to other firearms too. I know it did for the Sig Sauer, but it's not that I don't have interest in the 10 millimeter. It's in I no longer have interest in the 40 Smith and Wesson, the 10 millimeter short. I no longer have interest in that. I do not carry 40 at all. Matter of fact, I carry the only round I carry off duty for home protection or on my kit is either 9 millimeter or 45 ACP. So that's what I do. But 10 millimeter, I've got nothing against 10 millimeter. Remember, 40 Smith & Wesson is a modified 10 millimeter. It's a 10 millimeter short. So, yeah. 380 is not bad. Remember, so you compare 10 millimeter and 40. 10 and 40 is, I said 40 is 10 millimeter short. 380 is what? 9 millimeter short. So it's kind of the same concept. I got nothing against 380. I have nothing against 380. Hell, I used to carry a 22 long rifle, semi-auto pistol as a pocket pistol off duty. So, I mean, 380 is better than that. So, Maureen Frick, like the 38 Saturday Night Special. The only difference is, Maureen, is that you have to have a reputable manufactured firearm, regardless of the caliber. And 38, the Saturday Night Special nickname came from irreputable, bad manufacturers of firearms that were sold cheap, and they earned the nickname Saturday Night Specials, no matter what caliber they are in. So, which I get. I get it. It is what it is. The 38 Saturday Night Special. Yeah. Bad manufacturer, no matter what the caliber was. That's their nickname. Saturday Night Special. And to this date, there's certain firearms manufacturers that have bad reputations, but they don't call them Saturday Night Specials anymore. They just call them shitty guns. But back, in the day, they were all labeled Saturday Night Specials. So yeah, I get that reference for sure. Just chilling. What if I just buy a grenade and just go Vietnam on this biatch? Well, I mean, technically, I guess you could. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could. There's Trock. Somebody knew that they were talking about you, Trock. Hello, Trock. How are you, sir? Can you speak to your people over there and tell them to interfere with the whole terrorism thing going on in Israel? That would be great. I'm just asking for a friend. If not, that's fine. I know you're busy, but just sorry, just chilling. Yeah, if you can, you can actually go to Vietnam, and is it the Philippines? I can't remember. I know Vietnam at least. You can go there, actually go to one of these rental places where you can go and throw a real grenade or shoot a real RPG. It's expensive as hell, but you can actually still do that. And some of them are from the Vietnam era, the munitions. So, but they work. Karen S., greetings. Thank you for joining. But yeah, you can actually do that. You can go to Vietnam, and I want to say the Philippines. I might be wrong, but there's a couple countries, territories you can go to and still throw a hand grenade, like rent, because you can only rent a hand grenade once, or use one once, and fire an RPG around. But I know Vietnam, you can do it to this day, and like I said, but they're expensive. Cool, but expensive. Truck just got done having his back shaved. That might be true. And it was probably in a bodega parking lot. And it was probably involuntary at that. None of my business, though. None of my business. Hold on, I have to check. I have to check here. Okay. Involuntary back shaving. I can see that. I can see that. I shouldn't make fun of that. I shouldn't. I shouldn't make fun of that. It's funny as shit though. Um, yeah, so, uh, Trock, I dropped a link for you. Well, I dropped a link for anybody, but again, but I know it's Sunday night. It's midnight on the East Coast, and it's late and stuff. But I just wanted to, shoot the shit with you, good people, and see how everybody's doing because I'm doing good lately, and I haven't done this in a while. Yeah, Karen, I know. I haven't done this in, oh, damn, it's been almost a month. I haven't done a live, but hmm, doing it tonight for a short bit. We've been on here for about an hour, I think. Yeah, about an hour. Rudy. Karen, I wish Rudy would join us. I miss that dude. Rudy would always tell us the time. I love that. And he wasn't like being a smartass. He wasn't like being a class clown like me. He wasn't like doing anything. He's just like, just so everybody knows, it's this time. And I actually thought that was, it actually helped me a couple times. A couple nights I was like, holy shit, it's that. All right, thanks, Rudy. And I'm like, I gotta go to bed. So I miss Rudy. I miss Rudy so much. But yeah. Hey, Truck, are you still awake? What are you eating? What are you eating? I know you're eating something. That was horrible. I'm not gonna. I know he's eating something. Toast, something. What are you eating? Stealing more of your kids' candy? What's wrong with you? Jock's eating candy. Stolen candy. Trock, if you were down here, you would have loved today. You would have loved today. So it was a good day today. You would have seen things that you only dreamed of. Browning 1919 machine guns, things like that. Carol, don't worry, Halloween is coming. More candy. Yeah. Oh, I hope his daughter hides it well. She's gonna go trick or treating, and Dad's gonna steal the candy. Oh damn, Maureen, that's cold. Rock is eating something Becky O made. Where is Becky O? Has anybody seen Becky O recently? At any recent time? I haven't seen her in months and months and months and months. Haven't seen her around. And her and I always got along. So everything else is none of my business. So her and I always got along. Funny. Beantown, thank you for stopping by. Greetings to you. I think it's raining. It almost sounds like it's raining out here in the mountains, but I'm not 110% sure. So I'll find out after this. Hey, Beantown, can you wake Trock up? Like, do something, wake him up. He's here somewhere. Well, he was here. Carol, wake Trock up. I think here's the problem. We all started talking about candy. Now he's probably like drooling somewhere in a fetal position in his house thinking about it. But Is what it is. Is what it is. It's official. We can finally declare Trox Parakeet is dead. I think, yes, Karen S. I think that's a safe bet. I think that's a safe bet. poor, poor bird. Poor bird. Well, we should say birds, plural. But yeah. Mm. It's true. There's anybody that knows. He's a bird murderer. So yeah. Okay, let me go back. I'll drop it, the link, one more time for anybody that wants to join, because like I said, we've been on, now over an hour, just over an hour, slightly over an hour. But if anyone wants to join, you are more than welcome to. If I don't catch you trying to join on the StreamYard side right away, let me know here in the YouTube chat, and I will quickly switch over and get you on. Karen S. Anyone that goes missing, just check Trox's window. The problem with checking Trox's window is it's probably open and the victim is no longer going to be there. So stick your head out the window and look down, or look out and left and right. Cantaloupe, Cantaloupe Jones, greetings. That's crazy. Yeah, it is what it is. And he know, and I mean, it's Trox, so he kills birds. We all know that. We all know that. Trox. Hey, Carol, can you come on and take over for, I don't know, 2 minutes maybe? It's up to you. You don't have to. Chalk. Oh, Chalky. I should call. Well, he might be on his phone on here, honestly. Who knows? Karen S., does he kill? Does kill turkeys for Thanksgiving? It would not surprise me. Hey, Carol, how are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
Still breathing. I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, that's what I say every morning when I wake up.
I can dig it. I appreciate you coming on. This is yours for the next couple minutes, and
Yes.
and that's why I
Okay.
ask you. So I greatly appreciate that.
You're welcome.
But I'll be
No
back.
problem.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, you got it. You're welcome. Karen, so what have you been up to? Yeah, I'm the host for now. My granddaughter is doing well. My grandson graduated high school. He's in college now, and he's going for, I believe, law enforcement. So all is good with them. Oh, Karen, I know the feeling. I've been busy too. Thank God I'm off tomorrow. Yes, Todd Father, I am your homie. Always will be. Eating rice pudding, Chuck? Are you kidding me? Come on up here, Chuck. I want to talk to you. Please. My granddaughter is young, Karen. My grandson is 18. And the weather here is cold tonight. Let me see. The temperature is what? Yeah, we're at 36 over here tonight. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. So are you. So what has everybody else been up to? Anything interesting? Yeah, Karen, it's his first year, his first semester. And then I've got my baby boy finally. Let me see, he's graduating in May for electrician. Truck is in the chat, Mr. Smith. He's eating
I
rice
saw that.
pudding.
I saw that just now. I texted him, and then now he's like, "I gotta go to bed, everybody." We're still up, Trock. You can be up.
I got a question for him. How does he eat rice pudding and then go to sleep?
Mm,
Hmm.
mm, mm. My question would also be, where did he get it at this hour? You know, he hangs out at
Baroness,
bodegas. Yeah, yeah.
Baroness, I know the feeling. I've been seeing them since last month in the stores. The Christmas decorations, Mr. Smith.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I started seeing, what was it, Halloween back in like what, end of August, beginning of September.
Yep.
Yeah.
My husband, it was funny. The other day I went to the store and I decided to stop at Walmart. So
Yeah.
I was in Walmart looking for something and I see all these Christmas things out. And I'm like, oh, brother. So then I realized I usually light my walkway with candy canes, you know, the lighted candy
Yeah.
canes for Christmas.
Yeah.
And I'm saying to myself, oh my God, those ones in the basement, they're so old. I've got them since 19, I don't know, 97.
Yeah.
So I go in the back and I pick them up. I come in the house. He looks at me. He goes, we're only in October. What the hell is wrong with you? And I said to him, well, I looked at him straight in the face and I go, well, the other ones died. And I got the candy canes in my hand. He goes, never mind. And he walked away. I think he was afraid I was going to throw them at him.
So that, but I mean, I get that. Let me ask you one question. Everybody else here in chat can respond too. Uh, Real Christmas tree or fake Christmas tree with lights built in?
With me, it's the fake Christmas tree with the lights built in. Only because even with that, I am tired of taking out the vacuum and vacuuming up pine needles. So last year, I went with him over to Lowe's and I picked out a tree. And he says to me, but I wanted a real one. I said, good, then get yourself a real one, put it in the backyard. You and the bear under the deck can celebrate Christmas together because I'm not picking up any more damn pine needles.
Yeah. But
They make a mess.
so some people don't know, even the fake trees, those little fake pine needles fall off. And I could tell you this for a fact. They fall off on the wood floor, and then the pugs like to try to eat them. So you're still vacuuming up, well, at least the one, like the fake Christmas tree. Yeah, you're still vacuuming up these fake pine needles. They're basically just like green strips of plastic that are tiny and thin, but they fall off just like a
Yeah, I
real.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that problem with the garlands because I run the garland all the way up the stairs
Mhm.
on the railing, and then I put the lights around the garlands, and then I
Mhm.
hang the stockings for,
Yeah.
for the kids, for the grandkids. And I'm looking and I'm like, damn it, I'm still vacuuming
Yeah.
because I'm vacuuming as I'm putting the garlands up because it falls all over the place when you're wrapping it around the railing.
Mhm.
And then during the day, I find more and more. So either way, I can't win.
You know what's all right. I have a confession to everybody. That's so growing up, my parents had like the house I grew up in, they had like the real pine trees, like the Christmas trees and stuff they bought when they were like baby trees or whatever.
Hmm.
And they started putting lights on those and things like that. My parents were the type, and I'm not attacking, I'm just telling the truth. They're the ones that would like put up the Christmas lights and never take them down. Right. So like they're like, well, let's get the, remember the old bulbs, like the huge bulbs, like you screw them in, like you
Oh,
could,
yes.
yeah. So they had those, and I swear to God, Carol, to this day, there's one tree left at my mom's house that still has bulbs from the 70s, or at least wire and whatever's left of the Christmas lights embedded, like sucked into the actual tree, which is now like 30, 40 feet tall,
Oh,
like
boy.
from the 70s to those Christmas lights.
Hmm.
But my whole, what I was going for was before my wife, got going with what she's been dealing with the last calendar year. She was like, we're doing the house with lights. Like we're putting all the lights up on the house, right? So with
Right.
everything going on and blah blah blah, we still have Christmas lights up on the front porch roof from last year because neither one of, like, she hasn't been able to do it. Well, she could now, but hasn't been able to do it. And I'm like, I'm not fucking going out on the roof and like taking down these stupid lights. Let them stay there all year, and we'll just plug them back in when
You
it's
see,
Christmas. Yeah.
you're lucky. I can't get away with that. My granddaughter was here, let me see, Friday, and she says to me, Grandma, and I'm looking at her, I'm going, what, Athena? Grandma, where are the Halloween decorations? How come it's not lit outside yet? I said, all right, Athena, I'll do it this weekend. So then my husband turns around and says to her, Athena, you know, Grandma, you're going to make her put up these decorations. Halloween night, she's going to take them down. November 1st, you're going to see all the Christmas outside because she's not going to want to wait until December when it's cold.
Yeah.
But that's what I do every year. But I don't light anything until Thanksgiving night.
Yeah.
I, yeah, I put it all outside while it's warm. In the ground, I can still get things in the ground like the stakes and stuff.
Mhm,
It's
mhm.
funny, I went and bought the Grinch and I have it outside. It's about 6 feet tall. And I told my husband that was his monument, his memorial. I'm
I
bad.
I think we have, oh God. I invented a thing last year to string lights up the trees out front. It's like a spinny thingy kind of thing. I made it in
Hmm.
my shop, and it goes on extension like the paintbrush extension poles, like the paint things.
Right.
Anyway, I invented it and or I created not invented, but I created one and she's like, "This is great." So now we had lights all over like every tree because she didn't have to stand there on a ladder and like wrap around trees and stuff like that. And she's like, "Oh." So so now the lights, thank God, and are still on the porch, the front porch roof eaves, but the rest of them have to go back up. And I'm like, I can't. Number one, I don't mean to sound like the Grinch. I'm not. I could care less about this stuff, but that's her big thing. And I'm like, okay, well, I get it. That's fine. I'll help out and, you know, and do what I can
Mr.
do.
Smith, let me tell you,
Yes.
by the time I finish decorating outside, and
Mhm.
then for Christmas I'm talking about, and then I start on the inside,
Mhm.
okay?
Yeah.
I'm tired. I don't even want to hear Christmas because I'm the one that brings up the tree. I put all the decorations on. I'm the one that decorates. My husband, maybe if I'm lucky, because I keep telling him I'm getting too old to stand on a damn ladder to hang these lights outside, so he does it.
Mhm.
Other than that, I do everything else.
I'm like your husband. I do not participate. Matter of fact, last this was last November. My old beat partner and his wife came up to the house in the mountains, and my wife and his wife decided that they were going to decorate places that, in my opinion, shouldn't be decorated, but they had cardboard boxes. And in my living room, there's like huge built-in shelves and things like that where I have like stuff from my career and whatever, just all kind like man. It's not a man cave, but because it's a living room, but like just stuff. Next thing you know, shoving all this shit in boxes. I'm like, whoa, 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 what are you doing? Like, we have to put up decorations. The decorations are going on these shelves and things. I'm like, I want no part. My buddy had to like walk me out of the. He's like, just don't. It's not worth it. Just let them do. I'm like, and I'm not part of it. I'm not part of the whole thing. Um, I'm not against it. I just don't participate in it. So I'd
Oh, you
probably
gotta
be on your
figure.
husband's side of it.
Oh, well, he's another one. He makes me laugh. Don't forget to get this for this one. Don't forget to, because I do all Christmas shopping,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And then I'll tell him, okay, my granddaughter's got a stack about 5 feet high, and guess who's sitting there wrapping them all up?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
But order her this, get her that, get this one that, get this one this. Give me a break. The best is when he tells me, and what you want for Christmas, just order it.
And that's what I do. Like if I buy Christmas gifts and things like that, it's all just I don't know, online
Oh,
ordering.
mm-hmm. That's what I do. I do a lot of online and a lot of gift cards
Yes.
because the gift cards are easy. This way they can buy what they want.
Yeah. Karen S, she's doing well. Recovering from the final supposed to be the final surgery, and she had a couple of follow-ups and before she goes on international travels. It's October now. Yeah, so next month she has one, maybe two more follow-ups, but that's it. As far as the medical side of it. Other than that, doing well. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, my husband leaves let me see, this month and comes back next month.
Man, where you don't have
He's
to tell
going to
me.
Greece.
Oh, see, my wife's going to Africa in November for a while. And she's like, "Do you want to go?" I'm like, "No." Do I want to go to Africa? No. Because she's
Oh,
doing like
I just, yeah,
the
go ahead.
safari
I'm
thing.
sorry.
No, she's doing like the
Oh,
safari. I'm like, no.
I was asked, do you want to go to Greece? I said, nope, I'm not going anywhere internationally right now. No, thank you.
Exactly. Especially now. Exactly.
Uh-huh. And especially Greece, because you've
Mhm.
got the Middle East to the left, you've got Russia and them right there. No, thank you.
Mhm.
I'll stay right where I am.
I made a short little video tonight about what's going on right now in Israel. And none of what I made public was classified. Um, I watched, and that's not far from Italy. It's not
Mm-hmm.
far from. It's to the south of it, and I watched U.S. Air Force, Kuwait Air Force. Yes, I said Kuwait Air Force because there is one. It, Italy's Air Force, Poland's Air Force, all coming into Tel Aviv, Israel, and surrounding Egypt, like Cairo, Egypt, uh,
Mm-hmm.
Saudi Arabia, like
Yep.
landing military aircraft. And if you think they're just carrying supplies, for people that don't know how they operate, they were carrying, like, some of these aircraft, these air forces were carrying more than supplies. Yes, they were carrying supplies. A lot of them, like most of them were, but they're also carrying military personnel. And what do you think military personnel they were? And what do you think
I
they're
know.
preparing to do? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, we sent a ship there too.
Yeah. And I posted, I think the only two screenshots I posted were the U.S. and Polish Air Forces um, around Tel Aviv. But I watched live U.S., Italian, Kuwaiti, all these different UN air forces coming in, like these big Hercules C-130s
I know.
planes. And I'm like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, here we go. Here we
Yep.
go.
Unfortunately, I saw it
Yeah.
coming. The
Yeah.
minute the news broke, I was like, yesterday morning when they said that southern Israel got hit. I was like, I looked at my husband. I says, "Oh, God help us all. Here we go."
We're thankfully Russia's occupied at the time, or else I'm sure they'd have something to say or do. But we have a couple other places, to say the least, that are
Mm-hmm.
adamantly interested in what's going on. Um,
Oh yeah.
but the countries and territories surrounding it, we already have a military base or two. Well, one they call a base in a base, that's in Israel, and man, we've got Americans killed, kidnapped, things like that. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Uh,
Yeah, we know how that's going to turn out, unfortunately, and it's sad and it's disgusting and it's sick. I seen that one video. Angel had mentioned it last night, and I had seen the same video on Twitter yesterday with that one poor girl that they had. Her legs were behind her back. They must
in the
have
back of
broke
the
them
truck,
and
yeah.
just, yeah, oh God, I was sick to my stomach and I couldn't watch anymore. And all that's going through my head is what about the innocent people? Because they're the ones that are getting slaughtered. Because you know damn well in a hostage situation like this, they're going to put the hostages wherever they think they're going to get hit with the rockets. I don't care what
They
anybody
use
tells
them.
me.
They use them as shields.
Hmm.
They try to perpetuate that they use them as trading tools, but they use them as shields. They hide behind them. So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Aegon, greetings. Thank you for joining. Um, this is going to get, just my personal opinion. This is going to get pretty bad, pretty quick. It's already horrible for obviously Israel and all that. I have no like whatever the Gaza Palestinians and Israel have their differences. I know, but that's been going on for decades and decades and decades and decades.
Mm-hmm.
But this is an unprecedented attack against Israel since, at least you said it yourself, 73, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it was the last declared war.
Right.
They've had their little fights back and forth, but this is huge because now you've involved citizens, not just of the United States, but also other UN countries that have
Countries.
been
Mm-hmm.
killed and kidnapped, and and all the military forces from NATO countries and territories coming in there. Holy shitballs. This is getting ready to be something bad, like really
Well,
bad.
I happen to agree with what one of the reports said. It's ironic that 60 billion was given back to a certain country, and now we have this the following week.
Mhm.
Okay?
I mean,
Or 6
mhm,
billion, whatever it was,
mhm,
the amount. And now we have this.
mhm. Aegon Targaryen, if you would like to join, I would love for you to explain how people can repent in a time of war, because humans are animals. And in a time of war, humans become the worst animals.
Yep. And
Not,
the
not
sadder
us.
part is that the military's over there. And
Mhm.
if this does go well and ends quick, when they come back, they've got nothing to come back to.
That's right. That's right.
Okay?
Because
That's the sadder part.
that's true. Oh, Karen S. It's over 1,000 now, killed. Um, and the injured is also increased. Aegon, yes, World War III. And that's, people thought we were looking at that with Ukraine, but this is more focused on, put it that way. Ukraine's paid attention to. It was in the beginning, it still is, but this is a little bit
This
more.
is taking precedence.
Yes, correct. That's a good way of putting it. It's taking precedence over
Mm-hmm.
that. Yes, Karen S. Over 1K, 1,000. And again, this is none of this that I'm saying or showing or anything, whether it's on my video or talking about now, is classified. It's public information. So I can't get in trouble. That's fine. Egon, if you can't join, that's fine. I understand. Not a big deal. Just no big deal. But I appreciate you being here and giving your thoughts on what's going on.
The question now
Karen,
becomes, who's here to protect us?
who's that? I missed that.
I said the question now becomes, who's here to protect us?
Just me. Just me. Other than that, you all are fucked. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. Karen, you can come on. That's fine.
If all our military is scattered all over the place, who do we have? The National Guard? Ha ha ha.
So they moved the carrier attack force to the Mediterranean, well, closer in the Mediterranean to Israel and stuff. But it's just a strike force. It's a Navy strike force. So you got aircraft carriers and destroyers and things like that. But I mean, we'll see what happens because the U.S. isn't just going to like look. I already know what resources are there and around
Mhm.
there, but somebody said World War III. Yeah, that's
It's a good possibility.
it sure is. Hey, Karen, how you doing?
Hey, how's everyone?
Oh,
Good.
good.
I was talking with somebody last night, and it's funny. I said, you know what? I feel like something's brewing. We're on the brink of something, but I don't know how it's going to look, but I feel like it's going to be a huge war. And it's funny. I read today what's happened in Israel. Uh, some girl, I know her first name is Noah. Her family's asking that her picture gets shared all over the place. She was abducted
Yep.
near the Gaza Strip with her boyfriend.
Yep.
And you're seeing all these things happen, and it's not just I heard there were some Americans too, and uh, then I started to read about all the military intervention. The last time I read, it was like 1,500 injured, but that's probably gone up. I know the death toll has gone up.
Mhm.
And at first I thought, yeah, it's going to be something's going to happen between like Russia, China, something will happen. Something's going to brew. And I thought, issue with the Ukraine. Now I'm not so sure, but I feel like something is brewing. Something is going to happen. And I don't want to get too political, but I think that sometimes um, the perception right now of our country, because we're so divided, we have a president who is not, in my opinion, as aggressive or as quick and perceptive as I would expect. I feel like there's a lot of things going on, a lot of bad players going. This is the perfect time. Like the Ukraine was invaded when our president got in, not before, because the president
Hmm.
before, it was like Putin had already said things like, well, he's crazy. He didn't want to do anything when Trump was in. But when Biden got in, he had known Biden, and it's the devil you do know. And so he figured out he's a career politician. And that's when things happened in the Ukraine. He thought, I've dealt with him before. I know how to deal. And so then things happen. I have a feeling that right now, with all the divisions and everything happening, there's a reason why things are happening now. There's a reason why we're seeing helter skelter. There's a reason why.
I
Because
can.
I'll call it for what it is, in my opinion. He's not mentally capable, as sad as that is.
Yeah, I agree.
He's
He's not as quick. He was struggling during the primaries. It's true. I mean, I saw it as well. He was struggling during the primaries, during the presidential debates. I don't know, maybe got pumped with Adderall, but he was able to pull through. But no matter what party people are on, I vote for the person, not the party. Yeah, I saw that he had been struggling. He was he's an older man. He's almost 80. You're not going to have the engine for this. This is a 24/7 job, but I just don't think he's at the wheel. It's somebody else who's at the wheel, or something else. But I'll leave it at that. I just don't I just think certain things are happening now because there's a perception right now that we're not as strong as we should be because we're fighting over kind of meaningless.
I I can kind of explain one thing as far as less worrisome. So the communist countries are not the radical Islamist terrorist type of ideology. So you have like Russia, North Korea, China, things like that. Um, and there's a couple others for those that do the homework, but they are paying attention, very close attention, but they are not going to come in and support, especially Russia's too busy right now. But they're
I think
not going to
Putin
come in.
did speak out about this. I
Yeah,
read.
they're not going to come in and support, uh, what's going on in Israel right now because you know they're communists. They're not radical. They're not Islamic radical type ideology. They don't just. It's not the same thing, right?
No.
Do they enjoy it? Sure, of course they're sitting back watching, going like, "All right," like. but they're not going to participate, at least at this juncture. At least
My
at this.
personal opinion, I
Mhm.
think Russia is kind of glad this happened because that's less money that'll go to the Ukraine now and everything will be centered towards Israel.
Yes, and there's less attention, military attention paid towards them. Just but we've had American support going into to Israel. God, it's been over 24. I watched the first ones land, and I'm like, I knew that was going to happen because we're one of their strongest allies in the UN, and politically, and which is fine. But I knew that was going to happen, and now we have all these UN nations and territories that are going in and like dropping off not just supplies and weapons, but let's just call them personnel. So they're there for they're there for a purpose.
Oh, yeah.
They're there for a purpose. And
You see, what scares me is what's in this country already that we don't know about.
well, I I know the U.S. resources are there, but also our counterparts that train together and things like that, they're there. Hamas is Hamas is in trouble, and any country that supports them or funds them is in trouble too, worldwide. Um, this could be very long and drawn out, and it's going to be very violent and deadly, as it already has been in the last, well, almost 48 hours now.
Well,
But
Netanyahu is not the guy to play with either. His brother was killed
right,
by, I believe, Palestinians, so he's going to see this through.
Mhm.
He's absolutely, and I don't disagree with him, but he said this is going to this. He's already said it's all out war.
Mhm.
I mean, it is the. I mean, this has been going on forever, but this was a huge attack. It was a surprise attack.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can see it getting, you know,
I,
like the
I'll
last thing we need now is the Palestinians to do this, but they did it.
the last thing anybody needs is war, but I will say this: between the Russia and Ukraine conflict, which started almost 2 years ago now, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
I never saw such quick international military response as I've seen in the last 24 hours to Israel. When Russia and Ukraine started, uh, when Russia started the invasion of Ukraine, there was response. It was slow, but you usually don't see that, as I personally witnessed in the last 12 to 24 hours. Just the immense military response from all these different countries, including the United States, UN, partners and entities and things like that. It's just amazing when you see the Italian Air Force, the Kuwait Air Force. I didn't even know Kuwait had an Air Force, but they do. The
The rich country, sure it does.
Polish Air Force, all these. I'm like, holy crap! I'm watching them like fly in, not just to Israel. Mostly, they all go to Tel Aviv. They don't go to the south part, and then they go to like Egypt, and then they go to like United Arab Emirates, like Saudi Arabia. They land there. They drop off the personnel and supplies, and they bring them into to Israel. I'm like, holy crap! Like all at the same time. Like I'm not just talking like you know, one every few hours. I'm like watching all these military aircraft, transport planes like C-130 Hercules, like things like that. Sorry, just flying like right in or right around and dropping. I'm like, holy shit, this is going to get huge. And then they started releasing like Well, there's American citizens that are being killed or that have been killed and are being held hostage, also citizens from other countries, right? I'm like, holy shit. And then there was one Egyptian cop. Did you all see this? An Egyptian cop,
Yes.
right, at the just fucking executed, like just started shooting at tourists, killed 2 Israeli tourists, wounded a third and a fourth, I forget where from, but just an Egyptian cop.
Doesn't surprise me. In Egypt, you can never be too religious, so
Right.
there can be a fanatical element
Right.
in some groups. I'm not saying all,
Well,
but
they took him down. I mean, they took him alive, which doesn't make sense to me, but they took him alive. But there's 2 Israeli tourists that are dead and like 1 or 2 other tourists that are wounded by an Egyptian cop at it was a wall of some, was it the wall of the Great, I forget what's not the Great
Great
Wall.
Wailing
Wall.
Wall? The Wailing Wall?
It was a wall, not the Great Wall of China, because that would be China, but it was some type of historic
The
wall.
wall where they all go to pray.
The
Is it
Wailing
the
I
Wall.
think it
Wailing?
is.
Wailing?
The
Yeah.
Wailing Wall.
Which wall? The Wailing Wall? I can't
The
remember.
Wailing Wall, I thought you were talking
I
about.
don't. It might be, but an Egyptian cop just out of nowhere while all this is going on, and it's just like he could, because he supports Palestine and he supported the Hamas terrorist attack and stuff like that. So he's like, however he got where he was or whatever, you get a bad cop, you get a bad cop, no matter what country you're in. But he just like, meh, and just started executing. Zio Lesso, greetings. Thank you for joining. And yeah, this Egyptian cop just like whacked a couple, like just,
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, here we go. And sorry for cussing you, if you're offended, I don't care. But but it's like, here we go. Like, so now you're bringing Egypt into it. So like now,
I don't know if it's just one isolated incident of a cop that went kind of wayward and got in. I mean, it would be different if there were more. I don't know. I mean, I'm reading reports where I can see Putin is calling for a ceasefire between the two, but then he's also, like Carol said, using it to his advantage for the Ukraine and trying to bolster, what he's doing in the Ukraine.
Putin calling for a ceasefire is like Stewie Griffin not pronouncing wheat thins.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
None of it does.
Ceasefire. Ugh, God.
Yeah, I kind of figured it was just funny. I said something to my friend last night. I said, no, I think something's brewing. I said, I think things are going to get ugly soon. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to look. And then boom, this happens. And this was sort of, to me, right out of left field.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen that Palestine and Israel, war before, but this was huge. And now you have people from other countries that they've taken hostage, which is just stupid because you're involving more people to come after you.
The one great benefit that Israel have is the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, is made up of some of the best trained men and women. And people that don't know, you're required to serve in the military, whether you're male or female in Israel. And they are very well trained. They are very well supplied. They are very well equipped, not just from the United States, but themselves as well. They're very self-sufficient, but they are very well equipped and supplied by the United States as well, and training and everything else. Why they were caught off guard, why this happened, that's up to the intelligence community and things like that. But
I would be surprised with the Mossad because they're supposed to be, one of the best in the world. Their intelligence.
yes.
I don't know. I don't know, but it's not like it hasn't happened before.
And that's the thing. It has happened before, so that's not the surprise. It's like, why?
Why now?
Why now?
It was a religious holiday there, so I mean, I can get there's some little bit of lackadaisicality or whatever, but I I can kind of get that. However, the intelligence part of it, you said Mossad, and yes, that's like our equivalent of like
The
our
CIA or yeah.
our intelligence agencies, things like that. But again, very well trained, very well trained, equipped, educated, things like that. It's just I don't know. But somewhere I seen videos of military Israeli IDF military equipment and personnel that were taken out like immediately, and I'm like, holy shit! Like you're talking about like military equipment, like heavy duty, like tanks, modern tanks, like and things like that were just like taken out right away by these. I'll say it like this: third world terrorists, and it's like, holy crap. Um,
We've seen it before historically. I mean, we've seen it from that part of the world. And hi, Todd Father and Edwin and
yeah,
Jason
yeah,
and Zio. I just
yeah.
saw everyone pop up in the chat. But we've seen it. We've seen it before. This is exactly where, historically, where we've seen terrorism, at least since I've been around, where it's come from. It's typically come from here. I'm not, when you think of like England and Ireland when they were warring, they kept it in their own backyard.
True.
But with Israel, the U.S. didn't even establish Israel. It was the UN and England, believe, the UK and the UN. But we've been tasked with protecting Israel. But for years and years, ever since I was a kid, constantly I would see terrorist attacks. It was always coming from a certain part of the world.
Mhm.
So I'm not, in one way, I'm not surprised, but I'm thinking Palestine. It's such a tiny population that this should be able to be stomped out. The only problem is
Mhm.
that they have hostages.
It's not surprising, but it's disappointing, in my opinion, because not surprised, like you said, but it's disappointing because it's like going to drag so many other countries and military forces and lives into it. It shouldn't be that way.
Well, at least it's not going to be all on one country. It won't be us when you have other countries pouring in support. Maybe that's interesting because with the Ukraine, we were the ones that were sending, the bulk. But Israel has also been pretty well supported by us for many years. So,
Yes.
uh,
I think to the tune of 3 billion a year, if
yeah.
I'm correct.
Well, there are only allies over there, really. I mean,
So,
not only, but there are certain, like Jordan is very friendly with this country. The
the
king
Arabs,
there, his
yeah,
mother's British.
the Arab Emirates, especially Saudi Arabia, I mean, they've been like we've got good diplomatic relations and support, and like we can land aircraft, their military aircraft, set up a little forward operating area, the base, and things like that. So
Yeah.
that's good.
The only problem with those countries sometimes is with Saudi. When you think of the 9/11 terrorists, a lot of them were Saudis. Osama, right? Saudi.
That's
You can
yes,
never be
but
too religious there either. So it's like on one hand, I know George Bush and his family were very friendly with the Saudi, with
Mhm,
that whole family over there. But
mhm.
unfortunately, in certain countries, there is a wing of fanaticism in their population. It, they're supportive. Right now, we're just dealing with Palestine, but
I,
I wonder what else we'll be dealing with.
I dig it, and I agree with what you're saying. But then again, to this day, the whole Saudi Arabia connection to 9/11 is still ongoing. That has never been. There's never been a resolution to it. Put it that way.
Yeah. And now I wonder because we've had our borders open so much. And now I'm starting to see in the news, it was funny before this happened, starting to see Biden saying, well, he was building a wall. Now I
Mm.
was surprised to see that because I thought he was so against that. So now I think we're going to start to see, we might start to see a changing of the guard there, a clamp down on who is coming in because I think the security issues are going to be a very big issue right now. And I don't think it's just an isolated incident. I know that what's happening with Palestine and Israel seems like an isolated incident, but when you have other countries getting involved, I wonder how that's going to look. I wonder how much that's going to escalate. I wonder who else is going to get in to back the Palestinians. I wonder.
I
Oh, we know.
I have a good idea.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so do I.
I have a good idea.
I think so too. But we'll see. But I just remember saying to my friend last night, I just think something's brewing. I think there's going to be there's going to be an all-out war of some sort, and then boom, this.
I'm yeah, I'm kind of on the same page there. We'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, we've already got the United States. Again, this isn't classified information. The United States already has boots on the ground there before this even happened.
Yeah.
Now they've got more and equipment, and other countries are putting boots and equipment on the ground. They have been for the last 24 hours.
It makes me a little concerned because I feel like our country right now is not so secure. Just
Oh,
with
of
the
course not.
border, with the police being, defunded and
Wait, we have
Angela.
wait, we have police in the United States?
Ha! They don't. You know what? We do, but it's they're starting to shrink and their powers are being restricted and the whole 9 yards. But
Mhm.
yeah, I just see it as this can lead to more chaos if there isn't a change in thought, and we
But
don't.
wait, didn't Biden in the last 24 hours say, okay, go ahead, keep building those walls that were started before, and just go ahead.
Yeah.
on.
Now he wants to build. Now he wants to build the
But
wall. Now he
but
wants
here's the thing. The whole thing going on in Israel and the Gaza Strip is they went through the fences, the walls.
Oh yeah,
So
it's not going to keep people out. Yeah, you can build that. It's not going to keep people out.
so if they do that here,
It's not going to keep people out.
what's
It-
what's the
Especially when
difference?
they're flying people over and busing them up too, and
Right.
then saying, "Well, when you're here, we don't have a place for you to stay." It's yeah, that's another issue. I've just seen what's happened in New York, where now their mayor is down in Ecuador trying to figure things out, and I'm just sitting back laughing.
What
saying,
about the rep from New York that was in Israel when all this went down? Him and his staff. I forget his name. Crap.
Cory
And
Booker.
who is it?
Cory
It was
Booker?
Cory Booker
Yeah.
was over there.
Booker. Yes. But you know,
Mhm.
there are also at the same time, there are also like 24 chiefs of police and sheriffs from New York that were there at the same time.
Really?
Yes, 32 officers for
That's
the
what it was.
terror. For the terrorist
Yep.
training.
Yep. Go figure.
Mhm.
How ironic. Ugh. God bless. I mean, they're all fine. They're like they all managed to survive and get out. As far as I know, the reports they all managed to get. But could you imagine, Carol? You're there for anti-terrorist training in Israel, and they're attacked by
And
terrorists.
this happens. Yep.
How you can never have the best training ever in real life in a simulated environment than that actually fucking happening. Like, okay, we're here for terrorist training, and then you get attacked by terrorists. How much? This sounds horrible to some people.
It's
that are
ironic,
listening.
isn't it? That's the
It's
word.
crazy, but that's the best training and experience you could have because you'd be like, well, I'm here to train you all in case we have a terrorist attack. And they'd be like, what the hell do you know? Like, well, I was actually in Israel when the terrorist attacked, so I know kind of how things work. That's the best training experience you can have to teach other people, right? Especially American cops, because American cop, like, I'll be honest, we're not the brightest. And training is great, sure, but to have somebody teach you who actually went through something is very rare in American law enforcement. There are tons of instructors who've never been in a deadly force encounter, who've never been shot at, whatever, and they're teaching these kids and even seasoned cops, veteran cops, all these things about deadly force and experience that they have never had any experience in that shit. And that's always pissed me off. And I got to speak my voice when I was an instructor in a field training. I'm like, this is ridiculous. It needs to stop. And of course, all the ones that were teaching this shit that didn't have any of that experience. We're like, you suck, you're dumb, you're what. I'm like, okay, dummies. And then now we have real American cops that were in a foreign country during a terrorist attack, and they were there to be trained in terrorism. Now they can actually come back to the States and be like, well, no, this is really what happens. Missiles suck. Missiles suck. Being in a foreign country under a terrorist attack sucks. Here's what happens when the police and the military react. Here's what we need to do. Here's what we can do. Here's the resources we have. Here's the resources they have or didn't have and what we need. It's awesome. It's awesome. And thank God they're okay. But it's like, holy shit, you can't ask for a better instructor to teach that shit than somebody who's actually been through it. Just my opinion.
Hello, Angela, and I agree with your statement.
Yeah, Jason, election timing. That I mean, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I feel like as we get closer, there's going to be something brewing. I mean, I have clients now that are terrified to put out anything that seems even vaguely political. Everyone seems to be a little bit fearful. I don't know. But I did think when I saw that, and I thought, well, this country isn't exactly so safe right now. We don't know who's coming in to our own borders. We're seeing what's happening with Palestine. And the only way to really stop this, you would literally have to be at peace with the fact that some of those hostages will be killed. And that's it. You can't negotiate. They're going to use them as human shields. You can't. You know, what are they? They wouldn't be happy if they had all of Israel either. Let's be honest.
So there are a lot of hostages that are still alive. However, whether they're Israelis or Americans or citizens from other countries and stuff, they're already dead.
Yeah.
The hostages that are still alive are no doubt they're being tortured and abused and assaulted and things like that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. When Carol was saying about the girl who had her arms and legs tied behind her back, being like sort of hogtied, and they're
I mean,
it's just human shields too. It's like the only thing you can do is to be swift and start bombing, and you will end up taking civilians. There's no way because to negotiate with them, I'm not sure. I don't know what that would look like.
I know. Well, I won't get into it, but one of the things that they're doing, well, they started doing, and they're still, well, it's probably actively going on right now. But there's forces that have been deployed that are their specific mission is to rescue not just Americans, but other nationalities that are hostages. But there are specific forces that are deployed from not just the United States, but other places as well to actually go and rescue them without creating, like, say, you don't want to just like throw a bunch of missiles, bombs, or drone like strikes in the Gaza because there's Americans and other national citizens that aren't, Israelis that are being held hostage there. You just don't want to go in and, from a military perspective, go in and target that area. You want to go in and strategically, surgically go in and successfully rescue them. And then once you do that, then you can go in and bomb the shit out of them or strike them.
I don't know how they're going to successfully rescue them. That's a problem. It's going to be difficult. They're probably being moved around. I'm not holding out any hope just because historically we've seen they're not so able to be negotiated with.
I have a pretty good idea of how a lot of it is going to go down, and I'll be confident in saying that I think the majority of it is going to be successful. However, there are going to be casualties. That's without question, like you said. Like that goes without saying. But I have a pretty pretty good idea of what's already going on right now and how it's going to play out. Mostly, well, I won't go into it because this isn't public stuff, but I have a good idea of what's going to happen and how it's going to happen. And yes, there will be casualties, but I think overwhelmingly it's going to be successful. And I think in the end, this terrorist, because this is small. I mean, they have the same ideology of ISIS. They're
Yeah.
radical Islamic terrorists and things like that. But this is a small faction. Sure, they have support from other countries and territories in the region, but this isn't Afghanistan or anything like that we're talking about.
No, and the
So,
terrain is different. In Afghanistan, the terrain worked against us too. And
yeah, so I think with what's been established and what's happening right now as we speak, actually started before we speak, I think they're going to be very successful in eliminating a lot of the threat, succeeding in rescuing a lot of the innocent victims, hostages, no matter what country they're from. But again, as you said, there are going to be casualties. That's how it works, unfortunately. But I think overall it's going to be pretty successful. And from everything, the entities and the resources that are already there, that have been there, and incoming still right now as we speak, man, Hamas is fucked. Like, I don't know other way. I'm trying to put it politely.
I hope so.
They're fucked.
All
So,
I see is that for years and years, you'd see Palestinians going to Israel and
Mhm.
blow up cafes. And from people that I know that have lived there have said it's so commonplace it doesn't always make the news. And it certainly doesn't make Western news. Not all the time. It's become a way of life. And it's like, even when they do this, it's like, how do you punish someone who just doesn't respond to punishment?
Angela, I'm sorry, 1 second. Angela, in the last few hours, there has up until 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, there's been some updates. I actually made a video about it. I just showed some stuff around 9 p.m. resources that were in Israel or going into and coming out of Israel from numerous nations. But Angela, the United States, Italy, Kuwait, and Poland, just to name four. I personally watched their military go into Israel and neighboring border countries and territories to drop off resources and personnel. And it's public; it's not classified information. Anybody can find that out, can watch it live, which is what I did, and see that stuff. So yes, there are lots of personnel, resources, equipment, things like that are on the ground available to Israel to deal with the situation that is ongoing. But I personally started watching it this morning and watched it through this. I took a break when I went to the gun show, then came back, watched it again. But yeah. So up until, I haven't watched it since I did live, but yeah.
I saw it this morning on when I had logged on to Facebook, and then I saw a whole bunch of things come up, and I thought, oh, what in the world is this? And at that time, it was like 500 to 600 dead. Now you've said it's about 1,000 or over.
Yes.
And that,
I think the last report I saw before I went live was 1,100 dead.
Jesus Christ.
But that's an estimation, though. That's not like an accurate. That's just an. But then again, that doesn't count wounded too. That's just what they're at. So
What else did I see? Oh, wait a minute.
and for what happened, those numbers are low. So it's going to get worse. I mean,
sure.
I saw Germany go over. I think they sent something over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go to
Good.
Yeah.
They're sort of they like to place themselves as sort of the head of the EU. So
Yeah. Jason just said, yeah, I seen it. 1,100 dead and thousands wounded. So yeah, that's, but that's just what the media has for information. That doesn't, that it's still,
Well, the media never tells you everything anyway.
of course not. No, they're behind. They're just as behind as us.
they
They're
don't
catching up. They're
they
playing
don't
catch.
want to say sometimes. That's the problem too. They don't want to say they're restricted. And
Mhm.
there's certain broadcasting companies that don't always want to release information.
Yeah,
That's why I
well,
feel like you have to keep on looking through a variety of sources, and then you hope at some point you can kind of
and
find the truth.
and that's a valid point. That's what I do. I go through multiple resources to get information, and I'm like, holy crap! Like, and I can watch, like, I don't care if it's Fox, CBS, MS, NBC, like whoever, and I'm like, that's not the, I have like real time information. You guys are still catching up, and your headlines that you have are like hours old. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah,
But
unfortunately it is.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Right now, nothing but when I look at some of the statements that Netanyahu has made, he's very, very aggressive. He's very, I think um, to
Absolutely.
me, it's personal to him because of
His
what has
brother. Yeah.
happened with his brother, how he was killed. Just when he was also president of or prime minister of Israel
Mhm.
before, uh, some of the issues that he had. I think there was also issues where he was discussing with Obama, and I think from what I had read, he felt that he sort of had to back off a bit, and that wasn't what he wanted to do. So Netanyahu. So I think he's going to go all out with this. I think it's
And
so personal, and I don't blame him because it
it,
never stops. It never stops.
yeah, he does. He has some personal uh, investment in it, but also a lot of people don't know that this has been going on. I think we talked about it
Forever.
earlier. Like, this has been going on between um, Israel and Palestine for decades,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So this isn't like new. This, as far as it being like a conflict, this shouldn't be news to anybody. Um, but this
It's
is
a surprise.
historic. This is historic in the level of attack and the technology that the militaries have, that the forces have to use against each other. They're way different than back in 1973, in the 80s, the
Mm-hmm.
90s, even the early 2000s. This is like historic that
And that
eh,
makes you wonder where and how and who else is backing them for this to happen the way it did.
well, we have Iran, we have Syria, we have,
Yep.
there's some documented countries and territories that are known to support Hamas based upon their radical Islamic beliefs and ideologies, things like that. However, um, as far as the news media to the public is, well, we haven't proven that Iran or anyone is behind. Well, where do you think they get their funding from? Their training, their equipment, their guns, their missiles, uh, things like that. Because Hamas alone is, they don't have the money to get that
No.
training. They
Oh,
don't have
like I
any of
said earlier,
that. Yeah, they it comes
6
from
billion
somewhere
went
else.
back,
Mhm. Yeah.
and then this happens a week later.
Yeah.
Isn't that ironic?
How much was it, Carol? It was like 3 billion. Was it three, six, or
No, 6 billion.
6 billion? That's right, 6 billion to Iran. Yeah, but supposedly
Mm-hmm.
that money's still in where is it? Was it Saudi Arabia or someplace? Like the U.S. gave it back. Biden gave it back to Iran, or unfroze, how, or whatever the right word is.
Unfroze it.
Right, for Iran, but it's still not in Iran. It's still accessible to them in Saudi, or not Saudi, whatever other country territory. But yeah, and then all of a sudden this happens.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Weird.
Yeah, and we know that Russia and Iran are friendly with each other. None of this is surprising. You said it's disappointing. To me it's enraging, but it's not surprising.
No, it's not surprising, but
Well,
it's to me, it's not surprising, but it's still disappointing because it's like it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
It's like it's disappointing. I use that word because, like I said, like I don't. There's so many innocent people. Like if you're a military force, I don't care. You're terrorists. Terrorists go after like innocent people, right? They're
Right.
cowards. But military forces, things like that, they have an objective, they have goals, things like that. You just don't go and like just randomly kill the innocent, blow up the innocent, destroy the innocent, things like that. You're targeting. You go for targeted objectives. Um, these fuckers just they're terrorists. They're radical Islamic terrorists. That's what they are. You can, I mean, it's very clear in the videos and in the audio. That's what they're doing. That's what they're saying. That it's just they don't.
Yeah, they have no regard for human life.
No, they're not targeting specific. They're not strategically targeting. They're just trying to create as much destruction and chaos and death as possible to try to make a point, which isn't going to happen because they're all going to end up dead. But it's
Well
like,
deserved.
but it's yeah, I agree. I agree. But when you start taking, and I have a clip on my video, this poor woman, and she's covered in blood, and it's not her blood. She's covered in blood, and she's zip tied behind her back and being shoved into a jeep by
Yeah.
these Hamas terrorists. And they're in Israel when this is happening. And what do? They shoved her in the jeep, and they took her back into into Gaza. And this woman was doing nothing but minding her own business, right? And there were obviously dead people next to her, around her, and stuff. That's where she got the blood from on her person and clothing. And these animals went flex cuffed her, like the plastic zip ties, flex cuffed her, these Hamas terrorists, and shoved her in a jeep and took her into the Gaza. God knows if she's still alive or not.
I honestly think what they're going to do is they're going to start executing them, and I think they're going to.
They already they have been. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and I think they're going to start doing that to start tormenting, because it's not like they're going to get what they want back. And
No,
even if they did, they'd still do this. I wholeheartedly think that this would never stop. It's so funny because it's, when you look at it, how much is it in the name of religion? It's not.
well, the press is saying, well, the Hamas is trying to gather as many hostages as they can to trade for Palestinian prisoners being held in Israel. Well,
I don't buy that.
if they were actually doing that, they wouldn't have been executing people in the streets in the first place, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're trying to get hostages, you want them alive, especially if you want to trade them for your own prisoners, whether you believe they're political prisoners or not. You want to keep your hostages alive so you can be like, let's do the trade. You don't just go executing people in the fucking streets, young children, elderly, whoever, which is what they've been doing, and just randomly taking hostages. They're not they're just
Yeah,
they're
there's no negotiating with them.
they're
This
animals.
they
So
do.
Angela said they're fucking animals. They're animals. That's what they are.
Right.
They don't have the logic, the education, the talent, the experience, the knowledge. They don't know what the fuck. They're just there to kill.
Right.
They're there to kill, and they're following their radical, corrupt principles and ideology and religion and everything else that you want to think of that they have. They're oxygen thieves that are out there just to kill.
Yeah, the more they feel cornered, the worse they're going to get. The
Mhm.
best you could do is to pretend that you were negotiating with them and then just do exactly the
Well,
opposite.
stand by to see stand by to see what's going to happen, because like I said, the forces, the resources and forces, I love that rhyme. I always love to say it. The resources and forces that are on the ground right now, and I'm talking about boots, not just equipment, outside of Israel and in Israel, Hamas is fucked. So hopefully, and I know there's going to be some surgical, strategic operations conducted to rescue a lot of the hostages, no matter what country they're from. But it's going to happen.
And this is a little bit of a warning to us too. If a group like that can kind of have a coordinated terrorist attack like this, where they've used more technology than they ever have. They've done things that they haven't done before. Then we have to look at our own country too, because right now it seems to be a free for all for everyone to come in. I'm not against people immigrating, but at this point it seems to be there's, no vetting. It's hey, show up, almost like it's a party. And not we don't know where everyone is coming in. It's not, if people think it's just people from Mexico coming in, that's not true. They're coming in from all parts of the world.
They're
It's not
yes.
just here, it's Europe too. They're coming in from all parts of the world. Thing is that we don't really know who we're taking in right now. And we don't have the resources either. We don't have the resources either. And
I
you have
agree.
like this happening. There's a lot of people that there are countries that support this, what Palestine is doing. There are countries that support it.
And the thing is, it's mostly regional countries, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
There's other countries that aren't close to it that are definitely supporting it, that are closely watching. But those countries won't participate. The other ones might.
There are others that are working, they can work with us, but sometimes they are not as they're not as public about it. And I know that happened
Right.
during when we went into Iraq, because I know someone in the military who said there was one country that was cooperating with us. There was a base that was not even on the map. And this country was on the down low about it, but
Yes.
had troops waiting where they were building up their systems, communication systems,
Mhm.
right before the Iraq attack launched. And I know that, for sure. So there are countries that will be doing this, but silently supporting too, just to avoid the backlash. But I think it's already known. It's you can kind of tell who's our aggressor and who isn't.
Yeah. All I can say is, well, I said there's going to be, you're going to see some, well, you're not going to see the strategic operations that are going on as we speak. You're going to hear about them later, no
Oh
doubt.
yeah, absolutely. It now. Angela's right. After 9/11, to have no border security is an absolute shame. She's right. She's absolutely right. It's insane to do this right now. It's insane to do it anytime, but it's really insane to do it now
Yeah, I agree.
when we
Mary,
don't need to have
Mary, if you want to come up on the live, you're welcome to. I will drop the link for you. But Karen, you're going to take over. Carol's going to stay in chat for a little bit,
Okay.
but you're going to take over for a couple minutes for me, if you will. I appreciate it.
Okay, I will. Just reading the chat, thinking about how we could be housing and feeding, and who knows what else to help terrorists in this country. That's a valid point.
Yeah.
That's a valid point. We don't know who we're bringing in. We don't know. We're not vetting anything. Yeah, unfortunately, this is turned into not the cheeriest topic, but it's happening. It's been in the news. Oh, and Mary Kay, I'm sorry you have no voice right now. It seems like a couple people that aren't feeling well. I think Angela said she wasn't feeling well. Carol just said, I hope you feel better. Yeah, there is something going on. There's something going around, and there's something going on in other ways. But yeah, this is the season for getting colds and flus and all that fun. So, Carol, you're going to stay off the platform right now? I guess this can get tiring. We'll see what happens in the news for the next couple of days and see what transpires. And of course, I'm sure we'll find out more. And I no doubt in my mind that the news is holding back certain things. Some things they have to. Other things, I wonder why they hold it back. But it's not like people don't know. I think we all have our news stations that we go to that we feel are a little bit more truthful than others, and other ones where we just avoid. I know I certainly do. I kind of try to look at all of them to see if I can figure out if they're all saying the same thing, if there's a variation. Sometimes when they're all starting to say the same thing, then it's a little bit more valid. Or you can see certain types of publications that you wouldn't think would be running certain stories. And when they do, that's sort of a red flag as to, okay, this is probably something that's going on. When I see something like as far left as like Politico saying something and they're echoing what far right wing publication is saying, then I start to wonder. And I think, okay, that's probably true. There you are, Mr. Smith. I'm just talking about the news and how sometimes they withhold some info, and sometimes there's a reason for it, and other times not so much. But when I see sometimes left wing and right wing news outlets saying the same things, then I start to, not doubt the validity as much.
Mhm.
So I don't know. We'll see what goes on in the next couple of days.
And that will be the beginning. Is always the significant. I guess you could say the significant view of the end or the determination of what's going to happen. But yeah, so the next couple of days, I'll be really paying attention to.
Carol's right. We do need stronger leadership, and that's a fact. And I've heard people say that who are Democrats too, who said that, we need stronger leadership. It's absolutely true.
While you're chatting on there, I'm actually going to look up live radar to see what's going on updated over there.
I went in to check before. I was looking at Google.
Okay. Now the Jordanian Air Force has joined.
I'm not surprised.
So
They are away.
there.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. So Hercules 3-6, which is Herc 3-6, Jordanian Air Force. All right, that's cool.
Well,
People
also the leader of Jordan has a British mother. He's that's not as a religious country as the others. They have been a good ally to us.
Yeah, I'm looking. So we've got all kind of Jordan. I didn't even know like Kuwait had their own Air Force, but I found that out today.
I would expect they did because they're a wealthier country.
Well, yeah, but I didn't know they had their own like it's a small country, but I'm like, holy shit, they have their own Air Force. But yeah, so now Jordan's there. Jordan actually flew out of Amman. Let's see. There's some. Oh man, there's a lot of. God, the boots and equipment on the ground now has got to be.
I wonder if,
ridiculous.
I wonder if the Palestinians who had done this feel like it's all worth it.
Oh.
Let's see. I don't think they care. You're talking about a group
with the radical ideology that they have. Not the Palestinians. I'm talking about Hamas.
I am too.
They don't care. They don't care. They're there to die. That's what they want. They think they're rewarded if they do that. So they're just.
Oh yeah, they will. Well, there's that joke where they think that they're going to get what is it like? What is it? 70 black-eyed virgins when they die. And then I saw a meme where there's a picture of all these nuns with like paddles. They're like, what might be waiting for you on the other side?
Yeah, it's crazy.
But yeah, There's no, they don't care what the punishment will be because they are willing Hamas to go in and, kill themselves and take as many people as they can.
Exactly.
And it's always the same thing. They always get the young men to do it. It's why I kind of laugh when I think about this. It's not the older men. They're too discerning. It's always the young men that they get to do it.
Mhm.
It's always the young men that do it, that will go in and do this. Very
Oh.
easy to manipulate, you see.
Yeah.
Yeah, 72 virgins. Thank you, Mary. Hope they
All
get
right.
really angry nuns.
I'm going to close off the radar here. So now, yeah, so Jordan's Air Force is now involved too, which is, I think that's like, I'm like, holy shit. So to me, the two most surprising are Jordanian Air Force, and then, Kuwait Air Force going in there. I'm like, holy crap.
I'm not as surprised with Jordan. I kind of expected that.
So, but yeah,
I would be surprised if it was the Iranians. That would surprise me. That
well,
is not the case.
considering they fund Hamas, yeah, that
Yeah.
would be kind of. I mean, I wouldn't surprise me if I see them there, but they wouldn't be there to help Israel.
Certainly not. No. They would be there to organize some more chaos.
Yeah. Yeah. Jane Perry, I need to do more shows on this topic in coming days. You know what? I agree with that. It depends. I've got a couple medical appointments coming up tomorrow and Thursday, but I will try.
I hope you're feeling better.
I am. I'm actually feeling pretty good, which is why I'm still awake, which is surprising for this hour lately, last couple months. But yeah, I'm fine right now. So
Good. Well,
I
I'm
have
gonna
to get
pop off.
I have to get a CAT scan too coming up at some point. Not this week, but I'm like, I hate that I get claustrophobic.
Oh, I had one. It's when I had a kidney stone. It's not too bad.
I
Depending on how long they keep you in there, but
right. And I'm like, I've had them too, but they also want to they tried to do this to me last Monday. They tried to I don't know how to put this politely. They tried to stick a camera attached to a long cable through a passage in the human body that should not have, a complete opposite of what should happen to that area of the human body, the passageway.
doesn't sound good.
I vehemently denied that. So that didn't happen. But they want to do a CAT scan. Then they actually want to try to do that again to me. And I can tell you, I'm fine with the CAT scan, even though I'm claustrophobic. I'll do that. I've done a couple of them in my time, but they're not going to stick a cable with a camera in anywhere into me.
No. That
Because
sounds awful.
where they really want to do it, I can fucking definitely tell you they're not gonna do. They better call the police,
Right.
to actually restrain me and hold me down. It's not gonna happen.
They can figure out another way. The CAT scan isn't so bad. The CAT scan is just you can just think of something else. You can think of all of your live streams.
No, I don't. The cats, like I said, I've been through. I'm fine. I just don't like you can't move. You got to be in this tight space, and like the shit swirls around you, and you just can't move for however long you're in there. I'm like, I just don't like the confinement. Mary, open MRI CAT scan machine where I live, probably not. But I've been, like I said, I'm not really. They call them CT scans, but CAT scans. Yeah, I'm not really worried about that. It's the shoving the tube with the camera where it doesn't belong. That's not gonna effing happen. I can tell you. I told them that Monday. I'll say it again when I go to my follow up. Tomorrow's blood panels. Thursday's follow up, and then I haven't scheduled the CAT scan yet. But I'm gonna reiterate that the tube with the camera is not. It's not happening. It's just not happening.
Well, I wish you luck, and I will send you good vibes. And I'm gonna pop off right now, so if somebody
Okay.
wants to jump up. So
Well,
I'll be
I
in the chat.
appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you. I think we all appreciate you coming on, but thank you.
All right. Night. I'll be in the chat though.
Thank you very much. So this probably won't go on. We'll give a countdown to I'll let everyone in chat give me a countdown, but I have blood panels tomorrow morning. It's only, I don't know, 1:40 a.m. here, but unbelievably I'm wide awake. I'll tell you what, we'll go till 2 at the most, maybe 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Blood panels in the morning, which isn't a big deal. But I have to drive down the mountain to do that. Follow up Thursday. And that's about it. But yeah, so Angela, no, not shutting down just yet. But we'll soon. So we have until it's 1:40 a.m. We have until 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to shoot the shit. Any topics you guys want to bring up, you ladies and gentlemen want to bring up, go for it. You can either bring it up in chat or you can come up on panel. But again, it's going to be 2 a.m. is a cutoff time. And as they say in that song, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here come 2 a.m. So it is what it is. And I appreciate every single one of you that have hung out here. Angela, yes. Since I started taking my mandatory blood pressure meds in end of August, and I had a second one added in September, I have been going to bed unusually early. And this evening, I had a long day, so I honestly don't know why I'm up this late. But this is unusual. Karen, as Rudy says, hold on, I got that back up. Rudy says it's 12:40 p.m. Central Standard Time. Where are you, Rudy? What did he? Oh, Carol, yeah, AI. AI is going to start handling the supply chain. I think Todd Father would be the best person to ask about that, because he's in the middle of that supply chain part. But yeah, I think AI is going to take over a lot. There's a new-ish, well-known, nationally well-known donut / breakfast chain. It's not around the corner for me, but I have to go down the mountains, drive some ways. That's totally automated. And that opened up, oh boy, a year and a half ago, I think. At least a year, but not too long ago. But it's supposed to be totally automated. So it's basically like a drive-through. Like you go there, order what you want, and then you drive up to the window, and then they shoot your bag out of whatever you ordered after you paid. So yeah, AI's slowly taking over. Thanks, Jane. Yeah, this will be my third blood panel since the end of August. So just over a month and a couple weeks. God, and the doctor's appointment, I couldn't even specialists and things. But I'm feeling good, so I appreciate that. Hey, Jane. Jane, don't worry about it. We're actually on till no longer than 2 a.m. this fine East Coast morning. But yeah, I'm tired of getting. I hate needles. Like, I'm deathly afraid of them, but I'm tired of getting stuck with needles. I'm tired of being physically handled in doctor's offices. And I don't know if I made it clear before. I think I said a couple times. I've only had a couple diagnoses. There's one yet that's still not within their reach. And that's a scary one. But regardless, I'm feeling better than I did. Able to function physically and everything better. But it is what it is. Angela, thank you for coming on. Thank you. You're always welcome here, of course, as you know. So good to see you. You have a good night as well. Carol Jane, is it true that CM is back? That's the last person you two. Is CM who I think it is? Sorry, my phone's going off. I think I know who CM. I think I know what you're talking about. Okay, Carol. All right. Oh, shit. Sorry, Todd Father. Hold on. Sorry, my phone was going off. There we go.
What's up?
Hi. Hey, man. How are you?
Not bad. What did someone say about the supply chain?
That AI is going to start interfering with it and kind of like take it over.
I don't think it's going to happen where I work, to be honest.
Yeah, that's why I
Right,
wanted
and
you on. Yeah, that's why I
there's
wanted
too
you
much-
on to explain that. Yeah.
There's too many moving pieces in logistics. You know what I mean? Too much human error and how could I say it? Just saying like traffic. We were supposed to get a truck full of onions yesterday. It's not here yet. You know what I mean? Stuff like delays, stuff like
Right.
that. I don't know if that has anything to do with AI, but I mean, obviously, there's too much. Just the amount of emails and communication that goes through our brokers and our dispatch or our own people is
Okay.
I couldn't imagine machines doing that at this point.
Yeah, someone said it's going to start interfering with the supply chain, so I thought that you would be the best person to bring on to explain the perspective on that. So I appreciate it.
I don't think it's going to be well, I don't want to say soon, but I mean, like I said, from all the stuff that I physically have to still do,
Mhm.
I don't think we're in any kind of crazy danger with that stuff. That's just me.
Right. No, I agree. And my personal opinion is like there's a lot of things that AI can't replace humans for. You know what I mean? Like what humans do. So
Right, exactly. So I mean, like I said, I'm not really concerned with it right now, because AI is not going to drive trucks or unload the trucks or put the stuff away for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or inspect it for me.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So it's there's still going to be in my field anyways, which I work in a gigantic produce warehouse, but
Right.
it's there's too much human like I have to touch too much stuff. You know what I mean?
No, I can
So-
dig it. And that's why I said like I'm like the best person to talk to would be Todd Father about this because he deals with it. And I can't remember who asked the original question or made the statement, but I'm like I you would be the person to talk to, and appreciate you coming on and explaining that, because I
Yeah.
mean, that's critical shit. Like, a lot of people don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, like I said, it's you know, just what it takes from one truck to get, you know, from California to here, how much communication and how much, you know, processes are involved in that alone. And all, you know what I mean? So I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Good. I hope
Now
not. Because
I mean, you know, like a lot of time, like with our salespeople, we're not really needing salespeople much anymore because all these customers are placing their orders online. So that's starting to fade away a little bit. But as far as the actual process of getting all the other stuff here and you know, the coming and going from all over the country here and even
Mhm.
Canada for some of it, it's
Yeah.
still the same, you know. So
My personal opinion is you'll never take away the human aspect of anything business related, or anything transportation related, or anything. It just can't. It just can't work that way.
yeah, I mean,
That's
especially
just
18-wheelers and stuff like that. And there's just too much that can too many errors that can happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How,
So
how you feeling these days, man?
I'm getting along. I have good days and bad days. My knees just, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
I'm just getting through it and just living through it, and that's it. You know, my surgery's in the first week or second week in November, so I'm
Yeah.
just counting the days more or less. So I can't wait to get it fixed. Is all I'm saying.
No,
It's not getting any better. So
yeah, I can I mean, you and I have our different things going on, but I can relate to the, like, holy shit, when is this going to stop? When is this going to
yeah.
end? When's everything going to be better? So, but yeah.
What's that? Yeah, Carol, I didn't. Yeah, I'll have to check in the news about that, but I haven't seen or heard anything. And from my responsibilities and my processes, what I do at work every day in and out, nothing's changed. So I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But
I still love when you go, like when you're on lives and stuff and you're at work and you're like, you're going through and you're like, the fuck, like you go through and you got like
yeah.
this, whatever it is, I don't fucking thing of
Well,
lettuce or
I
whatever.
know where you're going with this, so I'll
Yeah.
just say it for you, okay?
Okay.
I'll just say it for you. Fuck pumpkins. So,
Thank you.
there's about 5 billion fucking pumpkins at this place right now.
Thank you.
So that's all I could say at this point. Fuck pumpkins. I don't want to look at them ever again. If I even have a spoonful of pumpkin pie, I'll probably throw my guts up. So pumpkins could fuck right off.
Oh my
So
God. Yes. Yep.
there, you happy?
Called it. Yep. You called it.
I know where you're going. I know you.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, there's a ton of pumpkins because they get dropped off here from the local farmers, and then we distribute them out to the grocery stores here
Mhm.
by the trailer full. So yeah, they can fuck right off. Pumpkins. I'm done looking at them. Fucking things. So
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
that's
my
right.
God.
That's what had to be said. Sorry.
Fucking hell. Got me crying. God damn it. Oh God. Yeah.
3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
But
11. Oh, what did I miss?
Whew.
You all right over there?
I'm groovy, man. I'm just gonna go donate more blood tomorrow from a vampire disguised as a nurse. But other
I'll
than
make
that,
sure
I'm
you
fine.
and I'll make sure you keep us posted what's going on over there. So
I'm not worried about it anymore. Uh, you know what? What am I gonna do? Regardless, I don't care. I don't care. I feel good. That's what matters.
well, still good to know.
Yeah. No. Compared to a month ago, I feel fucking outstanding, and I don't I I've got a couple diagnoses and I'm waiting for the big one, and I don't care. I don't care. I really don't. I'm like, I feel good. I'm fine. I'm breathing. I feel good.
Jesus,
That's what
man.
matters.
Just try to enjoy retirement. Don't you gotta care a little bit. The fuck?
Dude,
You worked
I've
all your
been
life and
Dude, I had my 4-year anniversary retirement on October 1st, and I was like, holy shit, it's been 4 years already. And but my health, like, I mean, health sneaks up on you, and it's like it just happened this summer, and then I finally got around to dealing with it, and I'm like, and I felt like shit. Now I feel
Yeah.
fine. And like I
Well,
said,
good.
I got a couple minor diagnoses, and I don't care about that because they're not bothering me. It's the big one, and other than that, even then, I don't care. I feel good.
I'm good.
I'm
That's
alive. I'm still stealing oxygen. I'm fine.
Yeah. I mean, your attitude is half the battle sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, there's days where it's like, Jesus Christ, I got to get up and go to work and walk on this stupid knee all night long when it's clicking and bone on bone, but I got to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. I
So
mean, my wife did the breast cancer thing for the last literally
yeah, I shouldn't even be
calendar.
bitching about my knee. I can't even imagine going through that.
No,
So
no, no.
I should shut my mouth.
No, but she's
So,
been going through. She's been going literally a calendar year, and it's almost last surgery is done. It's just the follow-ups and things like that. There's only a couple more left. And it's like over a year. I'm like, and cancer. I'm like, holy shit. And now it's my turn in the barrel. I'm like, oh, fucking hell. But my first two diagnoses, I'm like, oh, I feel good now. Like they give me, some meds and some things like that. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. And then I'm waiting for the big one and see what happens. But I'm like, I don't care. I don't fucking care anymore. I feel good. I'm living life. Hey, Mob Rat Hunter. But I'm like, I don't, dude. You know what? I mean, we take we don't we don't think about how good it is to feel good while we're feeling good. We
right.
remember it when we're feeling bad. We're like, holy fuck, I wish I felt good. Right.
I agree.
And I'm feeling good right now. So I'm not taking into consideration how bad it sucks to feel bad because I really I just feel good and I just don't, whatever happens. I feel good.
Well, that's good, man. It's a
It
good way
is,
to go about it. You know what I mean?
it is what it is.
Exactly.
I know you can relate because none of this is any fucking fun for sure, but you gotta do what you gotta do, especially when you have kids and family and things like that. It's not like we're sitting by ourselves in a fucking dingy old couch eating old Cheetos, watching stolen cable, being like, I don't know. We got kids and family and shit like
Oh, that's
that
funny.
we
No,
gotta,
there's stuff to keep us motivated.
yeah,
That's the big thing is,
yeah,
things to work toward and people to motivate you and
right,
and for you to provide. So I get it.
exactly,
I get
exactly,
it. That's what keeps me rolling. You know what I mean? So
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
like my son's going to his first homecoming tonight or in a few weeks. He's like, Dad, can you buy me a suit? And I'm like, wow, that flew by. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go buy you a fucking suit.
Well,
You know what I mean? So
yeah, but you know what? That's what being a parent's all about,
yeah,
as you know.
I might have to get one with him now. So
Well,
if
pretty
you're getting a suit,
Manita.
I'm getting a suit, damn it. So
Hmm?
but
The last suit I bought was one of this. I specifically did it, but it was like an old white suit jacket. I had the pants already, and then like a pastel blue, like the whole Miami Vice thing.
oh my god, really?
Yeah, I swear to God. And that's
God, were your tubs?
I can't wait.
I forgot.
Yeah, I can't wait to wear it in public. I just tried it on at home. I think I put a picture on here somewhere with part of it on. But yeah, that's like my dream thing to be able to. I got the shoulder holster and the guns and everything. Like I'm good to go, and the badge and all that stuff. It's not my badge.
Make sure someone films that, please.
Dude, there's a picture somewhere on here. I think I posted. If not, I'll definitely I'll do it. But it makes no sense with me because I have no hair. But oh man, it's my dream. But
Do it
we'll
up. I'd love to see it. I'm sure everybody here would too.
my balls would be so kicked in, people making fun of me. It'll be fun. It'll be worth it. I don't care. I don't care.
Very nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I gotta let you go. I have to get back in the warehouse here. I had to place an order for across the way here, and now I gotta layer it back up and go back in. So
I appreciate you coming on and joining, and I'm sure everybody else does too. So thank you, dude.
yeah, no problem at all, guys. I will talk to everybody soon. I hope you feel better and keep us posted.
You too, man.
All right,
Take
no
care.
doubt.
All
All
right.
righty.
So I'll
See ya.
see you. Pretty Monita Queen. Hola, mami. Monita, you're late. Because I put a time limit on 2 a.m. I've been on here for, oh shit, almost three hours. Holy crap. But definitely always appreciate everybody coming on, whether you're just in chat or, participating in the live stream. Yeah, almost 3 hours. Mike, it's been 2 hours and 51 minutes. So yeah. But I have to go get a blood panel in the morning. And those that aren't subscribed, Todd Father dropped his link. Go check him out and subscribe to Todd Father. He's a great dude. But yeah, I'll end this now. And like I said, I do appreciate, of course, I never announce my lives as far as I know. But I do appreciate everybody that has come on, that does come on, whether you're in chat or, come on live and talk and discuss things. I really, that means a lot. That not just to me, but to everybody that participates, everybody that's here. So thank you all very much. Like I said, it does mean a lot. So until then, thanks for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. And you don't have to do any of that stuff. Just appreciate your participation. And until then, catch everyone on the next one. I think that's how I end them usually, right? Is that right? All right. Thank you all. Take care.